Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are welcome to another episode of 30 Days in Sahabat. And today, inshallah, we are going to be narrating the story of how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala changed one of the most rusty hearts into a heart of gold. And that is the story of Wahsh Bn Harb, the killer of Hamza. Due to the magnitude of his actions, that is killing of Hamza, and also the severe pain that it caused the Prophet, this Sahaba became one of the least spoken about Sahaba. But ever since he accepted Islam, he was so devoted that he was also responsible for another monumental act in Islam, and that is the killing of Musaylamah al-Kazzab, the false prophet who was destroying the faith of many. So it is only fair for us to narrate the stories of this Sahaba for us all to learn. Wahshi was an Abyssinian slave that was trained as a spearman, and he was so good and distinguished in this that people would often use his skill to their advantage. After the Battle of Badr, where the Kuffar and the Quraysh suffered a great loss, they were bitter and were brimming for revenge, and they wanted to take revenge. In particular, Jubayr bin Mut'im, who was Wahsh's master, lost his uncle during the battle, and also Int bin Utbah, who lost not only his father but his brother and uncle as well during the battle, were all driven by revenge and wanted to take a revenge. So then came the Battle of Uhud. So Jubayr bin Mut'im told Wahshi, would he like to free himself? And he said, how will he do that? He said the only thing he needed to do was just to kill Hamza. And he accepted. And also Hind bin Utbah also said she was going to give a necklace, a leg laces and necklaces and jewelries if Wahshi could accomplish this act. Now Wahshi was so motivated and he was not concerned about any other thing other than his freedom. So he went along with the Kuffars to Battle of Uhud. And he was not even concerned about the entire battle. He was just moving around the battle, looking out for Hamza. And when he spotted Hamza, he killed him with just one throw of the spear. Just one throw. And eventually Hamza died. Many years afterward, the influence of Islam continued to grow. And then came the conquest of Mecca, when the Muslims conquered Mecca. Wahshi, out of fear and despair, ran away out of Mecca and went to Taif. And soon after that, Taif also submitted to Islam, which meant that he also ran away and he was on his way to Yemen. He was full of despair, not knowing what to do, when someone told him that, woe unto you, O Wahshi! Don't you know that Muhammad do not kill anyone that accepts Islam? On hearing this, he redirected his track and went straight down to Medina. He forced his way through the ranks of the Muslims and got to the Prophet ﷺ and made the testification of it. And upon making the testification, the Prophet recognized him and said, are you not Wahshi? And he said, yes. The Prophet said, sit down and tell me how you killed Hamza. No, the Prophet looked away initially and told him, sit down and tell me how you killed Hamza. And when he narrated the story, the Prophet said, all right, your Islam has been accepted, but from today on, I do not want to see you. And the Prophet said this not out of hatred, but because the sight of Wahshi would always remind the Prophet of Hamza, and it was indeed a painful experience for the Prophet. All of the Sahabas would always jump on the opportunity of listening and also learning from the Prophet. But Wahshi had to settle for the pain of not being able to behold the light from the Prophet's face. After the death of the Prophet, the Banu Hanifa tribe of the Najd tribe took themselves away out of Islam, while Musaylamah al-Kazzab claimed to himself that he was a prophet. Indeed, he was a false prophet. And this led to the Battle of Yamama, And in this battle, Wahsh Bn Harb took it upon himself to ensure that he killed Musaylama al-Kazzab. So in the battle as well, just as he did during the battle of Uhud, his main target was Musaylama al-Kazzab. And at some point, he claimed that he saw another Sahaba attempting to kill Wahsh. But at the point he released his own spear, it was the exact same time the Sahaba also released his spear. It is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that knew who killed Musaylama al-Kazzab. And this is one amazing story that we all ought to learn from. It is a story of forgiveness. If at all you find yourself, or if at all you have committed a whole lot of sins, and you feel like you are 1,000 steps away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all you just need to get back on track is just one step back. You just need to take one step back, seek Allah's forgiveness, and also understand the concept of atonement. Atonement is not what we should prescribe for ourselves. We should actually await it humbly and praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to soften our atonement, because indeed it is the ultimate way to clear out all of our sins. Jazakumullah khairan for listening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.